Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een wa min ittaba'ahum bi ihsani ila yawmiddin, amma ba'd. To proceed, in our previous lesson we explained the meaning of this sentence, فَإِذَا بَدَأْتَ أَنْتَ أَوَّلًا فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظَ النَّاسِكُ وَلَنْ أَتَمَكَّنَ مِنْ أَخْذِهَا. Okay? Which means, فَإِذَا, if you, بَدَأْتَ, you started, أَنْتَ, you أَوَّلًا,
first.
Okay? If you started first, okay, فَإِذَا. That فَإِذَا, if, it introduces something called al-jumlatu shartiyyah, a conditional sentence, which we're not going to speak about in any great detail because that's for a later lesson, but it introduces this condition, which is بدأت أنت أولا, if you begin first, right? What will happen? فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظَ he will wake up. That's why on the dha here, on فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظَ, it's mansubun, there's a fatha. Right? There's a fatha. That should ordinarily be فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظُ. فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظُ, right? But it's not. It's فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظَ. And the reason being is because it's called jawab al-shart, the answer to the condition or the response to the condition. The condition is إِذَا بدأت أنت أولا, if you begin first. Okay, so if you begin first, what will happen? فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظَ, he will wake up. So whenever you have a verb, we'll discuss this in more detail later, but whenever you have a verb that's in response to your condition, it's always mansubah. أولا فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظَ النَّاسِكُ. Ahsan, what does that mean? فَيَسْتَيْقَظَ النَّاسِكُ.
Then the nasik will wake up.
Right, the nasik will wake up. وَلَنْ أَتَمَكَّنَ. وَلَنْ أَتَمَكَّنَ. وَلَنْ أَتَمَكَّنَ, we said means
I'm not be able to.
I will not be able to. Okay? That verb تَمَكَّنَ, تَمَكَّنَ, it means he was able. Okay? Whenever we have تَمَكَّنَ, we have a min. تَمَكَّنَ min. So, وَلَنْ أَتَمَكَّنَ min. Remember that lan before a fi'l mudari, present tense verb, what does it do to its meaning?
Negates.
It negates it. But what tense is it? Past, present, future? What time period are we talking?
It's present.
Present.
Yeah.
وَلَنْ أَتَمَكَّنَ means I am not able
To.
Is that what lan means? Lan,
I'm not able to, or I won't be able to.
I will not be able to. The future.
Future.
Remember, lan is for the future. We'll discuss that in a minute. Min akhdiha, from
Take it.
akhdiha, taking it. Min akhdiha, right? Min akhdiha, taking it. What does the ha here refer to?
I refer to the Baqarah.
Al-Baqarah, the cow.
Yeah.
Because remember, that's what Al-Lassu wants. Al-Lassu yuridu an yasriqa al-baqarata.
Yeah.
Al-Lassu, the thief wants to steal the cow. Okay, so what he's saying to a shaitan, if you begin first, فَسَيَسْتَيْقَظُ النَّاسِكُ, the nasik will wake up, وَلَنْ أَتَمَكَّنَ, and I will not be able to أَخْذِهَا, take it. Right? So, just a couple of points that we need to clarify here. The first is the scene on the fi'lul mudari'. The scene. So, we have yaktubu. Yaktubu means
He writes.
he is writing or he writes, right? Fi'lul mudari', present tense verb. He is writing or he writes. Okay? Now, when we add a scene before it, yaktubu, the meaning of it is
He will write.
he will write. It makes it the future. Okay? Sayaktubu. And you know when we always say if we add a fa to a verb, is that we ask, is that part of the verb or does it mean so or then? It's the same thing here, except one difference. Whenever you see a scene before a fi'lul mudari', it can only ever mean will, i.e. the future. It can never be part of the verb. Because the fi'lul mudari' doesn't begin with seen,
No.
does it? A fi'lul mudari' either begins with a ya, yaktubu, or yaktubuna, or a ta, taktubu, taktubuna, taktubani, dual, or an alif,
Yeah.
aktubu, or a noon, naktubu. So a ya, a ta, an alif, or a noon. It can never begin with the seen. So therefore, whenever you see a fi'lul mudari' such as yaktubu or yastayqadhu, and it begins with the seen, then you know it means will. It relates to the future. Then we have the other type of method of referring to the future. Sawfa yaktubu. So, this is easier because sawfa, as you can see, is not part of the verb, it's not connected. So whenever we see sawfa before a fi'lul mudari', okay, what meaning does it give us?
Future.
Future, right? Also will, it relates to the future. So therefore, what's the difference between sayaktubu and sawfa yaktubu? The difference is that usually, and not always, usually sayaktubu, it refers to something which is close in the future. Okay? Whereas sawfa yaktubu relates to something in the distance. Okay? Something which is distant. Right? So for example, but it's not always like that. Sometimes they're used interchangeably. But sayaktubu can refer to something which is in the distant future. So, for example, why would we use it in certain cases? If I say to you, right, on the completion of this lesson, okay, أذهب إلى الحديقة. أذهب إلى الحديقة. I will go to the park. Okay, but I'm saying I want to convey the meaning of something that I will do, but I still use أذهب إلى الحديقة, right? After the lesson, أذهب إلى الحديقة. But you know that أذهب, it relates to the present, right? But you know that because I'm saying بعد درسي أذهب إلى الحديقة, after the lesson I will go to the park, it's understood that I'm going to go after the lesson, i.e. in the future. I'm not doing it now, right? Whereas if I say to you, أنا أكتب على السابورة, أنا أكتب على السابورة, I'm writing on the board, which means I'm doing it now. But it's clear that it's not in the future because of the context that I'm doing it now, right? But if I say to you بعد درسي سأذهب إلى الحديقة, then it's clear, isn't it? I'm talking about the future, but the short-term future, i.e. upon the completion of this lesson, after 50 minutes or so on and so forth, right? So it's clear. So in that context I would use sa. But if it was in a few days time, or a week or a month, then I would say سوف أذهب إلى الحديقة, or سوف أسافر إلى مكة, I will travel to Mecca. Okay, that's generally the distinction between them. Is that clear? Right, the other point that I wanted to mention is we need to remind ourselves of the different types of negation of the present tense, like what was present in that sentence. يكتب means what, يا أحسن?
He's writing.
He is writing, good. الفعل المضارع, he is writing. Okay? Right. So if we write لا يكتب, what does it mean?
Not writing.
He is not writing. Okay? That is the way that we negate the present tense. لا يكتب. Or we say ما يكتب. We can use a la or ma to negate يكتب. Okay? So I say, for example, لا أذهب إلى الحديقة. I will not go to the park. Okay? لا أذهب إلى الحديقة, if we pronounce the ending. So لا and ma negate al-mudari'. If we now say, again يكتب, but we say لم يكتب. Okay. What does لم يكتب now mean?
He wasn't writing.
Good. It negates it. And the presence of the lam changes the dhamma to not a fatha, ya ahsanu. Right. That's why that state is called majzumun. Majzumun because there's a sukoon on the end. Okay? Lam yaktub. Lam yaktub means he did not write. Lam yaktub. Okay? So, if we have yaktubu again, yaktubu, and we say lan. What does lan do to yaktub?
Future.
The future, it negates it in the future. So the meaning therefore is?
He will not write.
He will not write. And what happens to the dhamma here? It becomes?
Sukoon.
Not a sukoon, ya ahsanu, not a sukoon. A fatha. Lan yaktuba. Lan yaktuba, which means he will not write. Okay?
ندعو.
Sorry?
This ayat in Quran is لن ندعو من دونه.
Yeah. وَلَنْ نَدْعُ مِن دُونِهِ. Okay? لَنْ يَكْتُبَ. Right? So we have لَا يَكْتُبُ or مَا يَكْتُبُ. He is not writing. لَمْ يَكْتُبْ. He didn't write, and it becomes مجزوم. And لَنْ يَكْتُبَ. He will not write, and it takes a fatha. Okay? And that's important because the ending in this instance remains constant. La yaktub. Here it becomes majzumun with the sukoon or a jazm, and here it becomes mansubun with a fatha. Now the only other point to note here is whether we say la yaktubu or la yaktubuna. Yaktubuna. If we say la yaktubuna or ma yaktubuna, what's the meaning here now?
They will not writing.
Not they are.
Sorry, they are not writing.
They are not writing. It's the present. Still the present. Hasn't changed the time. And note that the ending hasn't altered either. It's still in its normal state. It's still marfu'un. That fatha on the noon does not tell us its state.
No.
It's the waw, right? The waw makes it marfu'un yaktubuna. Right? Now, here, if we say lam, they did not write, what happens? How do we represent the majzumun state on yaktubuna? How do we say lam yaktubuna? What's the majzumun state of yaktubuna? What happens?
لم يكتبان or something.
Not lam yaktubani yahsanu.
Then لم يكتبوا.
Right, lam yaktubu. Right? Well, it was a good guess, mashallah. Lam yaktubu. Lam yaktubu. You drop the noon.
Yeah.
Right? And that's considered to be the majzumun state by dropping the noon. Right? Lam yaktubu. Then we have lan. So we want to say yaktubu. They yaktubu. They will not write. Lan yaktabuna. So how do you represent the mansubun state on yaktabuna?
You know what I said before? I said this one. Yaktuba.
Yaktuba, not yaktuba yahsanu. It's not that difficult really, because it's already been mentioned once. How do you represent? Remember the ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah? فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَنْ تَفْعَلُوا فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ. So, how is the mansubun state represented in taf'aluna after the lan? Taf'alu. So what do we do? What's the difference in taf'alun and taf'alu?
Put the alif there. Take the noon off.
We remove the noon. We remove the noon here, and it becomes yaktubu. Lan yaktubu.
Is it going to be exactly the same as the...
It's the same, ya ahsan. It's the same. Lam yaktubu and lan yaktubu is the same. But this is in the majzuman state and this is in the mansuban state. Even though it's represented in the same way.
Yeah.
So don't think that even though it's written in the same way, that the state is the same, because it's not. Here it's marfu'un, yaktubuna. Here it's majzumun, yaktubu, and here it's mansubun, yaktubu. Is that clear? Yeah, ahsan.
So basically, the last two is marfu'.
The last two. No, the last two. This state is called majzumun.
Dependent text.
Majzumun with the sukoon. A jazm is another way of representing a sukoon.
It will be written like that.
Yes, like this. Just like here, that's mansubun with a fatha, right?
Yeah.
Lan yaktuba and lan yaktubu. That's why I did the singular third person in each one, to illustrate that that is the difference in the ending that you can see, whereas here you can't see a difference even though there is. Why? Ya namul haq. Right. Just wanted to, because it's important to have these reminders in case you forget. Right. So the next sentence, therefore, in our story is
وقال الشيطان
وقال الشيطان. وقال الشيطان. وقال
شيطان لا انتظار حتى
وقال الشيطان
لا انتظار.
Right. First of all, وقال. What does وقال mean, Ya Ahsan?
And he said,
And he said. What type of word is قال?
قال is verb.
A verb, a fi'l. Right? الشيطان. Why is الشيطان مرفوع?
Is it just because of idafa?
Not because of idafa, Ya Ahsan. No, we know this. Qala is a fi'l and a verb. Who's the doer?
The Shaytan.
Ash-shaytanu. So therefore the doer is always not mansubun, marfu'un. The doer is always marfu'un, remember? From our first lesson, the doer is marfu'un. Okay? And always look out, whenever you see a fi'lun, always look out to see who the fa'ilun is, who the doer is. And in this instance, the doer is the shaytanu. وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ. And the shaytan said. Right, what did he say?
لا انتظار.
La. He said la. And then he said
انتظار.
انتظر.
انتظار.
انتظر.
حتى أخذ الناس.
حتى
أخذ الناس.
حتى آخذ
الناس.
الناس. Right. Let's just deal with this part first. Okay, it hasn't finished, but right. وقال الشيطان. La means no. Then he said انتظر.
I can't wait.
انتظر. Actually, that's انتظر. Is it انتظر or انتظر? انتظر. It is انتظر. ينتظر انتظر. Right. So لا انتظر. What type of word is انتظر?
فعل.
It's a فعل.
Yeah.
Is it ماضي, past, المضارع, present?
مضارع.
مضارع.
It's actually
used with فعل ماضي, huh?
it's actually commanding.
Right. It's not مضارع. I can understand why you thought that, but it's not مضارع. It's the command form. الفعل الأمر.
فعل أمر.
Okay? It's the command form. Right? So if you're speaking to a single male and you're going to give them a command, telling them what to do, you will use this form. Right? انتظر. So if you wanted to say تنتظر, right? What does تنتظر mean? تنتظر.
That's the فعل المضارع.
That's a فعل المضارع. تنتظر is فعل المضارع. What does تنتظر mean?
يعني you تنتظر
You single male wait, or it can mean she single female
yeah, both
waits or is waiting, right? Point is, it's a present tense verb,
Yeah.
تنتظر.
yeah, تنتظر.
Okay? So if I said to you, أحسن, يا أحسن تنتظر, you wait.
Wait.
Okay? You wait. So I'm asking you to do something. Or rather, not I'm asking you, I'm describing what you're doing. تنتظر. You are waiting. That's more accurate to say. You are waiting. أنت تنتظر. You are waiting. Right? Now, if I want to commend you to wait, and I'm speaking to you, what happens is we go from تنتظر to in, and then this is the same. انتظر. Except that becomes مجزوم with the sukoon. Remember how earlier on I was thinking, right, is that انتظر or انتظر? The way that I worked it out, and this is the way that you do, is you think, right, so what's the present?
Base word, yeah.
What's the present tense of you are waiting? Well, it's تنتظر. تنتظر, right? So from تنتظر, I know that we drop the ta, you place an alif before it, okay? And then the dhamma on the ra goes to or changes to a sukoon. And it becomes intadhir. You wait. Okay? And that's the difference between them. If I say to you, tantadhiru, that means you're waiting. And it's also a polite way of asking you to wait, rather than using a command. Right? So I say, anta tantadhiru, it means you're waiting. Or I'd like you to wait. If I say intadhir, that's a command form, you wait.
Okay, can you still use anta, before intadhir?
No. Well, no, you can. Sorry. Yeah, you can. You can say anta intadhir. You wait. You can do. Right? But it's the command form. Right? So that's how we know, as I said, that's how we know the difference between the two. Because tantadhiru, it can mean both of them. It can mean you are waiting, and it can also mean will you wait?
Yeah.
Right? That's what it can mean. But if I say intadhir, it's the command form for you to wait. But the important point here, apart from the meaning, is to remember how we moved from tantadhiru to intadhir. That's if you're speaking to a single male.
Like
Okay.
plural.
Sorry?
Ikra.
Yeah, like Iqra.
The first ayah. The command.
Right, and it's good. That's a good example. Iqra. Bismi Rabbik. Right? The ayah. Read.
Read.
Okay? But I can also say to you, Ya ahsanu anta taqra'u hadha. Oh ahsan, you read this.
أنت أقرأ.
Yeah.
No, anta iqra, you read. Or anta taqra'u, you read. Okay?
So the base word qara, he read. He read.
Yeah, he read, right?
And commanding ikra.
Yeah. So we've gone from tantadhiru to intadhir for the single male you. Now, the good news about the command form is there's only 5 conjugations. There's only 5. And the reason being is all of them relate to when you're addressing somebody, i.e. not the third person. It's not the third person like he or they or she or they or them dual. Do you understand? It's only when it's you single male, you single female, you dual or you plural. Okay, so we're not going to do them all, but the female version of you wait is intadhiri. Like the ayah in Surah Maryam, where Allah Azza wa Jalla said to Maryam alayha salam, Kuli fakuli washrabi waqarri aini. Kuli, you eat, washrabi, and you drink. That's a command form to a single female. Intadhiri, right? Intadhiri. The E sound on the end makes it singular female. Right? Is that clear?